you by my side, cause it's cold.
I'm in Zion National Park and the sun is not even out, but I am going to hike up to Angel's Landing. I'm going to do it this way because you can't actually see shit right now. But yeah, Angel's Landing, so pretty lethal trail, but I'm going to give it my best shot, so wish me luck. Well, having a lamp is really handy, like very quickly. Like in most mountains, the sun sort of crests and you get a bit of a glow sort of circling around you. So the first half a mile starts off pretty gentle, and then gradually you start an incline. But so far, the trail has been completely paved, which is quite nice actually, because quite often you're walking on scree or sand. So to have a little bit of a stable footing is actually quite nice. But the sun is just cresting behind Zion Canyon wall. And I'm just starting to get a taste of that glow on the red rock. It's so beautiful here.
You initially start to ascend up a series of paved switchbacks. You can't really see the views yet, but you know you're making good progress, and when you do get to have a look out when the sun starts to come up, you can really see just how far you've come from the parking lot in the distance. But up is the only way from here.
After you come by the first set of switchbacks, you'll verge in away from that main Zion view, and you cross a footbridge, and then it takes you to this section, which is relatively flat. There's a slight incline, but compared to what you've just done, it feels like a bit of a breather. So I've already done 1.5 miles. So what should happen now in theory is I should bound around this canyon and then see Walter's Wiggles, which will take me 21 switchbacks up to Scouts Lookout. And then that's a point where some people decide to stay, because at that point it's a little bit less intense. And then from there, obviously you go up the really tight beehive and then up to Angel's Landing. So yeah.
Just over 1 mile into the trail, you reach Walter's Wiggles. This is a series of very steep, short switchbacks, 21 in total, but they're very slick with ice this time of year. Yak tracks were super helpful for this section of the trail.
At the Wally's Wiggles section of the trail, so it's 21 very tight switchbacks, and it's pretty steep even without ice. So I've just popped my yak tracks on just to give a bit more traction, but it's still quite slippy. So the switchbacks aren't too bad. I mean, they're not hard to hike, they're just super slippy because they're quite steep and the ice is really slick. So I wore my spikes, but to be honest, they didn't really help. So going down, I'm gonna put my salopettes with me because I saw this really dope lady on YouTube who slided down them. So I decided I'd copy her. Probably fall to my death, but there we go. Junction to the South Rim Trail, there's actually restrooms over here, which is super helpful. And then you come to this junction in the West Rim Trail with Angel's Landing this way and the West Rim Spring this way. So super easy sign to follow, and this is the way I'm heading. Right here I'm walking on sand, so that whole ice situation is very patchy, but of course if you come when there's been fresh snow, this is probably going to be snowy too, because you can see some patches on the side. But the views up here are so dope, and I'm heading all the way up there. When you see these views, you can see the Virgin River, the scenic drive, but the scary thing is, look how sharp that cliff edge is. I do not want to go down there. Straight away, you've got to look for the grooves in the sandstone, and there's this chain which I'm just going to cling onto for my life, whether I need to or not, because it's super steep. The drop-offs from the chain are pretty severe, so you really have got to take your time. As you can see, it's on an angle, so it's not even straight. But that's where I'm heading, and then up. So after the first section of chains, I've just come to this sort of ledge where you walk around before you about turn, but just in the distance you can see there's somebody moving. That is Angel's Landing right there. So I've still got a hell of a way to go. So I've just come through the first sort of butte, but as you can see there's people just here, and it's all the way up there to Angel's Landing. So I'm so close, but I feel so far because it looks so sketchy. So I'm going to give it a go. But I'm also going to use my common sense as well, and if it's ridiculous, then obviously I'm not going to do it. But you can see the chains come down here and then up this very narrow butte. You can see I've got mitts on, and that's only for grip, because my hands will get a bit clammy on the rope otherwise. But it looks a hell of a long way to the top of Angel's Landing, but the views already, I mean, there's another view out onto the canyon from the Virgin River, and it's just spectacular. And way in the distance the sun is cresting, and all around me as well. There's a few people ahead of me, but it's pretty icy, and my spikes don't seem to be doing as good. Maybe crampons would have been better. So you can see just the narrow ledge that I've come from. But Zion is literally showing its best off today. I'm actually kind of nervous doing this hike because I don't think I've got the traction that I would have liked to have had. I thought my spikes would be helping me more, but I am making progress. I'm just gonna have to take my time coming down, and I probably won't film an awful lot today. until I get to the top. But just look at these views. It's so dope. It's pretty gnarly, to be honest, but still super dope. Like, the views are sick, but it's sketchy. You can definitely see why so many people died on this hike, but it's cool. It's really cool. Not sure how much of this footage is going to come through. I cannot believe I'm actually doing this. And this looks like to be the final ascent. It's so fucking amazing. So I'm making what's ultimately going to be the final push to get to the top. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh. Wow. And now I'm heading into the sun, but look at these insane views. So I've actually made it to the top of Angel's Landing. So it took me an hour and 35 minutes to get to the top. Obviously I did stop a little bit to film and stuff. It's not that icy on the top, but on the chain section you do need spikes, or you need at least shoes with good grip. Yeah, there's only about 4 people up here, and it's super peaceful. And you just get this like insane view in every direction of Zion, and it's just incredible. So I'm going to stay up here for a little bit and have a snack and take some pictures, and then head down, which is going to be the sketchy bit. So I'm not going to film going down because I think I need to be like mindful of my steps and stuff, like where I'm putting my feet and stuff, and I don't think I should distract myself with the camera. So I'll catch up when I get to the bottom. But here's some views from the top.
It's so cold, cold night. It's a cold night, but I'll be alright with you by my side, 'cause it's a cold night. We drive till the light shines bright in our eyes. A cold night.
If you like my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe.